to call this meeting to order at 5:15. Roll call.
Mary Hernandez. Present.
SP Ochoa, present.
Nereida Cantu, present.
Dr. Zamora.
Roberto Zamora, present.
Alda Benavides, present. Dr. Science, I do declare a quorum. Today is Friday, September the 9th, 2022.
Thank you, Dr. Benavides. Let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dr. Science, do we have any public comments?
We have no public comments.
If we don't have any public comments, we're going to move to item number 5, bids, approval to reject softball and baseball field bleachers quotation through the Purchasing Cooperatives 2023-300 and process a formal solicitation to stimulate competition. Do I have a motion? And then we can have any questions if we have any questions. Do I have a motion?
Can they explain why we are rejecting it?
Well, do we have a motion? Let's have a motion and a second, and then we can discuss.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
It's okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay. Questions?
Yes, Mr. Villarreal. Can you explain to our community why it's being rejected, why it's coming to us?
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Science, members of the board. So the reason we're bringing this item for rejection is because last week we approved a corrective action plan that for any jock quotes over 15,000, we will require 3 quotes. And any quotes that are through the purchasing cooperative already requires 2 quotes. So when we sent out this quote to 3 vendors, we were only able to get 1 response back. So we just feel that it would be best practice that we reject and we rebid this project and do formal solicitations, which means we would advertise and open it up to the public.
I understood, Mr. Villarreal, that this would also be aligned with our new requirements that we recently approved as a board.
Correct. Yes, it would. And just to add to that as well, just to give you a timeline, that if this item was to get approved to reject and rebid, we already have the advertisement ready for tomorrow. So we would have the first advertisement tomorrow, September 10th, another one September 17th. We would receive bids October 4th, do the evaluation and the ranking for the October 12th board meeting, do the best and final item for the October 26th board meeting. We would hopefully have a notice to proceed by November 4th. And from there, it would take about 5 months for the fabrication and design. And after that's complete, it would take roughly about 2 months for the installation. So that'll put us about June of next year.
Mr. Villarreal, are we quoting or bidding on both items, correct? On the canopy and the bleachers? Are we doing it separate, or it has to be one vendor for both?
No, it's a turnkey project. It's a demolition of the existing canopy, and then the installation of the new bleachers, new canopy, and new press box for both baseball and softball.
So it's together?
All together, yes.
Okay. So move to approve to reject softball and baseball field bleachers as for admin recommendation.
Motion
Second.
has been made. Do I have a second? Motion been
Second.
made by Ms. Ochoa, second by Dr.
Just a question
Cantu.
before we vote.
Dr. Zamora has a question.
The bids had come in the last time at under 2 million, and then it went up to 2 million. And at that time, I had asked the question as to whether it included the canopy, and I was told, if I remember correctly, that yes, it did. And then now it is up at 2 million, but I understand that the reason for it is that that difference is because of the canopy.
No,
Right.
no, sir. The original 1.5 million, that was just a budgeted amount that we came up with along with the engineer. This was in the early stages of this project, sometime last year. That was just an estimated budget for this project. So we had never gotten out for bids for this project until this time. So this is a first proposal that we get that came in at 2 million, which does include the
So
canopy.
what was presented to us the first time was not a bid? When you were asking for approval?
No, that was just the budgeted, estimated budget.
But I thought we were being asked for approval to move forward at that time.
Yeah, but at that time, the bid was to like 2 million, a little bit over 2 million. I'm not sure where you're getting the 1.5.
Okay. So anyway, so I know that since then you also had. No, I thought that also you had some discussions in terms of the canopy. Are you okay?
Yes.
She's going.
What was the question, sir?
I thought that you might have had some discussions along the way with architects and engineers regarding the canopy and whether that needed to be included with
Yes,
this bid.
yes, we did. I know we brought in a third party just to get a different opinion, a second opinion. And it was concluded that because it's very difficult to, I guess, for the engineer to project the lifespan of that canopy, like, it could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, it could be 10. And because of the investment that we're making, over $2 million, I think it's just in the best interest of the district to just do the whole project as a whole.
I think we need to be careful on the agenda item because right now we're talking about softball and baseball field bleachers, and that is something very different. Dr.
That's
Zamora.
what we're talking about.
Oh, that's exactly
No,
what we're
it's
talking
the
about.
With this one.
It's the same thing.
It's the same, but,
The canopies, I heard canopies.
well, it's because I think the canopies, these are not the canopies for the playgrounds,
Correct.
right?
This
These
is
are
the
canopies
canopy
that go
over the
baseball
bleachers at the
bleachers.
baseball field.
Yes, because I was a little
Correct.
confused in the beginning too.
Okay.
Yes, it's a
Sí.
canopy that goes on top of the bleachers.
And Dr. Zamora's question at the time was that if the canopies were included, and the response was yes.
Yes, it's always been
Yes,
included,
yeah.
yes.
But the figure that I had thought you had presented was 1.5 or thereabout.
Yeah, no, that was the estimated budget.
So it was not bid at that time.
No.
Okay. So we're up to 2 million then.
Right now, that's the quote that we have right now. That
What's our budgeted amount?
the budgeted amount is 1.5.
So we would need an explanation of where we're going to get the extra 500,000? Because in the special projects and the board, but the budget approval, we only approved 1.5.
And then
Because-
again, this
Yeah.
is just an estimated, because we don't know now what the
What
bid
the new
would be.
bids will be.
Yeah, it
That's
could go
true.
down, or it could stay the
Right.
same, or it could go
We're hoping it
a
goes
little bit
down.
higher. Yeah,
Correct.
we don't know.
So your I guess your third party here came and said that it was best to go ahead and include the canopies.
Well, I mean,
Who was the third party, by the way?
it was Mr. Luis Figueroa from Rofa Architects.
And he was the third party or the second party?
The second opinion,
Okay, not a third.
no, the second opinion.
Okay.
That he came in and he inspected. Again, he's an architect, he's not a structural engineer,
Correct.
but from his experience, he concluded that, from what the engineer proposed for this project, that he was fine with, that being an option, whether it's, replacing it with the whole project, because, again, we don't know how long this would last.
Okay, here's the other question. Is it a recommendation of the engineer to do it, or is it one of the options presented to us?
It's her recommendation.
not an option?
It's her, no, it's her she's recommending for us to do it.
Okay, just,
But it's recommended because of warranty, or why is it recommending, or is it that it won't last another 6 months, this canopy? I mean, what it's,
Yeah, again, because, you know, and I don't want to speak for the engineer, but from our meetings that you know, in our talks with the engineer, she's saying that she feels that she wouldn't be able to give us an accurate, you know, timeline for how long, or the lifespan for that canopy, for that structure. So she feels if we're already going to invest, you know, this type of money, you know, we should just replace the canopy. It'll be one whole project. It'll have the same warranty altogether, and we don't have to go back, you know, in 2, 3, 5 years to replace the canopy.
my concern, Mr. Villarreal, is that this will be the second season that our softball and baseball players are gonna not play there. I don't know if it would be possible to actually like concentrate on the bleachers first, and then once the season is over, we can concentrate on the canopy. I mean, I don't see the period of time being too long if we just do one step at a time. That way our kids can enjoy and having those games here. I mean, I don't know if that would be an option, that we can break it down, you know, into just the bleachers and then the canopy.
I mean,
So-
it is an option. I mean, we could break it down, but just keep in mind the timeline that I gave you, that puts us at November before we actually have a contract with anybody. So if, you know, if November and December, if baseball starts in January, that's 3 months. I don't know if that's feasible for anybody to do just the bleachers in 3 months, but there is another option that I know we spoke with athletics, with Coach Garza about, which was maybe possibly renting out. There's some companies that rent out, you know, big size bleachers for the baseball and softball so they can play at those fields. That's another option.
well, we already have those bleachers that are in place now that could be used in the softball and baseball fields that are just west of those stadiums.
There are some bleachers there.
Right, so we would not have to rent out any other bleachers other than move the ones that we have over to those fields and be ready to play in March or February, whenever the season starts, with those bleachers there. Either way, we are going to have to get those 2 fields ready for play.
Correct.
So the bleachers that are currently in the softball field and the baseball field can be moved over so that we can have bleachers needed to play the games there.
That's also an option. We can move those bleachers. We would have to look at it because of the size, because those are pretty big bleachers already. We would have to probably do something where we take it in sections. But that is an option as well.
Right, and we wouldn't have to rent or lease or go
Right.
anywhere else.
Perhaps then, Mr. Villarreal, if you could bring us a report to some options of what you get together with Mr. Garza
Okay.
and see what some options are so that we can look at that and hopefully, I know that it would mean a lot, especially for our seniors who are looking forward to playing their last year in our fields.
The main
And so
field.
that's very important. So
Sure.
study the situation and then bring options among the ones that have been discussed today.
Sure, we will.
Well, I think we're limited on the options, but you have options, right? But the options just being, are we going to go ahead and go to play where in the west side fields or where they are now? And there's no option to continuing playing where we are, right? So the options are we going to use the canopy, get the canopy or not get a canopy? And then the timelines for that. But I think that the options really are limited, and I just don't want to spend another 2 weeks or so before.
No, I'm not saying delay the project. Approve the rejection, whatever happens tonight, but at the same time be looking at what are our options here and which is more cost effective, where we take into account our seniors that are wanting to play in our fields.
Sure.
So I just want to clarify, though, that when we go, when we advertise
that we are going to go for the canopy, well, the bleachers, the press box, and the canopy?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Any other questions? If there are no other questions, a motion has been made by Ms. Ochoa and a second by Dr. Cantu. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I need a motion for adjournment.
So move.
Motion has been made by Ms. Hernandez. I'll take Mr. J.J. Luna's second as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, and our meeting is adjourned at 5:31 p.m. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone. Have a good weekend.